Hi guys, Mrs. Hill. We are on our third lesson from our story, Naming the Cat. Today we're going to find out if we're going to figure out if the family has named their cat and what they named it, and we're going to see what else happens in this part of our story. So to review our skill sheet, so far in lessons 1 and 2, you should have finished questions number 1, 2, and 3. Those questions should be finished. I have the page numbers written for you. Question number 1, the main characters. We met them earlier in the story. So there are 5 main characters. I'm going to see if you can come up with who they are. Start filling those in. Go back and double check who you think the main characters are. We'll hit that in a recap on lesson 5, but I do want you to see if you can come up with the main characters. Those are the main people in our story. The second question, the cat came to be part of the family when? You'll find the answer to that on page 8 if you haven't already finished it. Question number 3, some of the names they think of for their cat. That is on pages 11 and 13. I suggested that you pick the names of the cat that you like the most. Since we don't know what the cat's name is yet, that question's just asking you for details in the story. So the details are what the family was thinking about naming the cat. And question number 4, so we're going to find out today if we can answer question number 4. What do they end up naming the cat? Why do they name him that? So we had our sentences started yesterday. We went ahead and worked ahead a little bit yesterday. So the first part of this question, they end up naming the cat blank. So we'll see today if we can come up with his name, if the family decided on a name. And the second part of our question, they name him that because. We'll see if we can come up with that information as well. Okay, so today we're going to do pages 20 through 25. And again, we're going to take a look at those illustrations. On page 21, our word is scooted that we want to take a look at. And I want you to take a look at the illustrations as I use that word in a sentence for you and give you a little bit of a story preview on what's going to happen. One day, a big dog runs after the cat. He is lucky the boy is by the door. What does scooted look like? So if you've ever seen a dog scoot around, or if you know what the word scooted means, sometimes you're on a scooter and you're scooting along, you're moving or you're scooting across the floor. See if you can come up with what scooted looks like. Pages 22 and 23. Here's our family from our story. Here is a big word for us, extraordinary. And on page 23, the word fit. Up here, there's all kinds of names written, difficult names, big names, written at the top of our page. So the family goes to see a play, and here's some extraordinary names. They do not fit the cat. So we've got Growl Tiger, McCavity, all kinds of weird names. So they must be at a play. We'll see if that tells us what play they're at and what those names, how those names are used in that play. So here they're coming out. If you look at this detail in the illustration, this poster is Cats. There is a long-running Broadway play by the name of Cats. And here we have a new kitty to our story. It looks like he's looking in the garbage can. So on page 24, we've got the word feral right here. And then we also have the word belong. So we will see what the words feral and belong mean as they're used in the story. Near the theater, they see a feral cat. Dad says it is wild and it doesn't belong to anyone. So this cat must not have a family. So let's see if we can if our story tells us what the cat's name is. And let's see what happens in this next part of our story. Okay? One day I had just let the cat outdoors when a big dog came into the yard. The dog saw the cat, growled, and ran toward it. I opened the door and the cat scooted in. We were lucky I was still by the door, I told the cat. For Grandma's birthday, we went to the theater. We saw the play Cats and heard some extraordinary names. They did not fit our cat. Near the theater, we saw a dirty cat limping down the alley. Dad said, "That's a feral cat. That means it's wild. It doesn't belong to anyone. Our cat might have become feral if he hadn't been lucky enough to find us." This keeps coming up over and over and over. They keep saying the cat's lucky. So that's as far as we're going to read today. I really don't think we have any information to answer question 4 yet, do we? So we are going to leave that question open until we finish our lesson tomorrow. At the end of lesson 4, we will come back and see, because tomorrow's our last lesson, so hopefully it tells us what the cat's name is. I can't imagine it wouldn't show up at the end of the book what the cat's name is and why they named him that. Be thinking about the family keeps saying the cat's lucky. That keeps coming up over and over and over. Came up here. Came up here. So think about that. That might be a cat's name. So if you think it's going to be the cat's name, make yourself a little note and we'll see tomorrow how our story ends.